welcome to this week's serving of Mickey Waffles, a Disney podcast where we cover everything from parks, movies, and merchandise. My name is Sinead.
My name's Kate. Hi guys, how's it going?
I'm good, Kate. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I got a bunch of stuff for my face.
You did?
I'm excited to use it. Well, to be fair, 3 of the things are the same things I've been using the whole time, but now they're new and not possibly out of date. So, yeah. I couldn't remember when I bought the last ones. I had to sort of guesstimate, but the shelf life on these guys are only 6 months. So even with my guesstimation, I'm pretty sure they're more than 6 months old. But I think they're like 7.5-ish, possibly. So not that out of date.
I'll put it to you this way. Did you get them before or after you moved out?
See, that I can't remember. I think after. I think after.
Oh, then it's probably like only slightly.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. I think they're only slightly out of date, so it's not too bad. But either way, I was running out of 2 of them anyway. One of them I wasn't using as much as I should have, so it's a bit of a waste. But anywho.
To be fair, Kate, I have eyeshadow palettes that I bought, and eyeshadows usually last around like 24 months-ish, but I bought them when I still worked in Vans.
Wow. And
I still use them, and my eyes haven't fallen out my head yet, so we're all good.
Yeah, like I assume there's enough stuff in like hydrating serum and like face. I assume there's enough things in that exactly at 6 months it's not going to go, fuck you, rip your face off.
Yeah, like it's not milk, and even then, milk you can usually get like a day.
Colour may vary due to natural ingredients. See, natural ingredients, like come on, that can't be bad. Either way, you'll all be happy to know that I've got brand new ones, so these ones are going in the bin.
Exciting times. This
and then I finally joined the Ordinary crew.
You did.
After watching multiple videos and reading lots of descriptions, I finally picked an item from the Ordinary that I think might be suitable for my needs. However, Amy has also shown me another thing that I might need to reduce the redness in my face. But surprisingly, it's out of stock everywhere except for the Ordinary website. And I'm not buying just one thing because it's £7 for the cream and €5 shipping. Yeah. I'm not doing that. So I'll wait, see how this goes. And then when I need more, then I'll order it.
Yeah. I did go on and have a look because I'm just pink always. That pink is just my skin colour. I'm painfully Irish like that. And I went on and had a look and it's out of stock absolutely everywhere. However,
everywhere except the Ordinary themselves. They have it, but I'm like, great.
I'll wait.
But, yeah, there's
the lovely Sandy is posting me up the new thing that you got because she got it and didn't agree with her. So I was like, I'll give it a whirl.
I don't even know how to say it.
Niacinamide?
Niacinamide, that's it. I would have gone with nicotinamide. To be honest now.
That's what Nick's going to bring out next week. That'll be his version of it.
Nicotinamide. Just Pepsi Max cherry.
Yeah, it'll be cherry Pepsi Max flavoured.
Yeah, that's the main ingredient.
Oh dear. So besides buying skincare, how's your week been?
Good. Honestly, this has been the highlight of my week. No, we also bought and haven't actually tried yet just because we haven't been in the right mood for it. We got Ring Fit for the Switch.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah, we were both like, we should probably just buy it because we'll never use it if we don't buy one. And it came back in stock right? No, but yeah, that's exactly it. We were like, well, we'll never know if we like it if we don't buy it. True. So it came back in stock in a lot of places, and so we grabbed it off of GameStop, and we just haven't used it yet because the weather's been nice. So when it's time to go outside and it's nice, we just go outside instead of doing the Ring Fit. I'm sure we'll get around to it this week because the weather's been a bit crappish lately. So I'll probably report back next week on how that is.
I'm excited.
But otherwise, the skincare has been awfully exciting, and that only arrived today. Also, my mother bought us a butter churner.
Literally, like, before we press record, we were having an in-depth, I was getting the in-depth details of how one churns butter from
Churns butter, yeah. So there's a farmer's market not within our 5k, I'd say that's the easiest way to say it, that we're able to bring the dogs to on a Saturday.
For context, for anyone that doesn't live in Ireland, you have to stay within 5 kilometres of where you live.
Oh yeah, sorry.
So for anybody that's not in Ireland, that's our current COVID restrictions. You stay within 5 kilometres of your house.
So like we can walk up, it's dog friendly and it's nice, you can get coffee and all sort of stuff. And 2 weeks ago when we went, the cheesemonger also sold homemade butter, and we were like, fuck yeah, homemade butter and fresh bread, yeah. And we fell in love with the homemade butter. And I was talking to my mom during the week, and she was like, you could, but when we went this week, there was no butter. They only brought like 15 of them to sell. So when we got there, they were all gone. I was like, oh, outrageous. So I was talking to my mom about it. My mom was like, you can make butter yourself. And I was like, yeah, maybe we'll look into it. I don't know. And then lo and behold, yesterday, my mum sent me a little Amazon shipping thing. It was like, you're getting a gift. It's on its way. And then that evening, a lovely man arrived at the door and was like, there you go. And now we have homemade butter, which we think is too salty, but sure, look, we'll see.
I mean, I always find it funny when you look at recipes and stuff and it's like unsalted butter, and I'm like, why would anyone own unsalted butter?
Unsalted butter. Yeah, it's a very baking thing.
Nah.
Ed said he watched a video recently of an American who was like, the best butter is Irish unsalted butter, and I'm like, that is incorrect.
I don't think that exists.
You can get Irish unsalted butter.
Really?
For baking.
We love excessive amounts of salt in everything.
Oh yeah, I know, but he was like, the best is unsalted, and everyone was like, no, the best is salted Kerrygold. You're wrong.
If anything, the best is like super crisp bread with a good old layer of butter and some flaky salt on top.
Right?
Now that's peak.
I was like, he was like, sir, you don't know what you're talking about.
He's American, so.
Correct. But yeah, that's pretty much. I'm actually buzzing to go wash my face, I have to say now. I am excited. I also got some No Woman No Dry like body moisturizer, body butter. So I'm also
fantastic name.
I'm also excited to have a shower and just
the cleanliness of KP.
Re-moisturize myself. You know, like you got to just look at the exciting things. Like, what's something we can do every day? Have a shower. Guaranteed. Might as well make that exciting.
There you go.
Do you know what I mean? Like, used to be too busy to just about get your teeth brushed and your hair done before you walked out the door. Now you have at least 10 minutes to do like a face routine of like making sure your face is clean. Like, how times have changed.
I know, right? The joys of lockdown.
Oh, yes, that's been my week. What about you?
I've been doing an awful lot of walking.
Oh, yeah, you have.
So last month, the kind of collective group of us were doing a 10,000 steps a day challenge thing to raise money. And then this month, my team and work were like, what if everybody agrees to walk 5k every day? Or run 5k every day? So we all agreed to that. I'm still sticking to hitting my 10,000 steps a day because I'm like, I've already done that. So I don't feel like going back.
Yeah, that's fair.
And because it was sunny at the weekend and because I live near no one, I just kept going out for like 2.5 hour long walks. So I think both days over the weekend, I did like a 13-kilometer walk just around my 5k.
Yeah, just
around my 5k. And getting some blood oranges, which are in season at the minute and utterly glorious, have probably been about the highlights of my week. Just walking profusely. That's all I've done.
I mean, what else are you gonna do?
It's true.
Properly running out of activities.
Yeah.
Like really running out of activities.
I know. And as a result, because I've been running out of activities, I decided to start another podcast, which will be coming out next week. Because
that's just what everyone's been doing in this period of time.
That's what you do.
It's like, oh, we all have nothing to do. Let's just shite on more about the things that only we care about and no one else maybe might do.
Exactly.
Which is literally what all podcasts are.
I know. I know. And then you'll have the like select few people that like to listen to it, and that's about it.
And then you're like, yeah, cool. High five, 5 other people.
Oh, you froze. There we go. So yeah, so I'm gonna have a new podcast coming out called Cheaper Than a Chainsaw, which is a tagline from a horror movie.
I was gonna ask you, what does that mean?
It's a tagline from a horror movie, but seemingly it's not a great horror movie, so it's probably one that we will never watch.
Great, fantastic.
But it sounds good.
I mean, sure, it's alliterative.
There we go.
I was like, it's onomatopoeic. No, it's not. It's alliterative, is what it is.
Yeah, so it's a horror movie review podcast because I decided in the last year that I liked horror movies, and it's gonna mostly be movies that I've never seen before. I'm doing it with Dougie that we had on ages ago, talk about DVC. He is a big horror fan and he has seen all of these movies, so it'll be interesting seeing my take on it. One of my favorite things that we're going to include in it that I have insisted on is but what happened to the dog though, because in every horror movie there's an animal somewhere in the movie and I get extremely panicked about what happens to this animal and if anything was to become like if anything was to happen to said animal. So that's something that I'm insisting on including.
Slightly on that note, and you're going to hate me for this, but lately, obviously, me and Ed have been watching like a lot of like older series that came out a good few years ago. At the moment, we're watching Bones, and I'm watching Grey's Anatomy by myself. But anyway, a thing that we have that is quite morbid, really, is that anytime we watch any form of TV or film that's at least 5 years old, and like a dog comes up, we're like, that dog's dead.
Oh, Kate. Oh, that does make me sad.
I knew you wouldn't like it, but it was on the same sort of vibe. It's like when we see dogs in shows now, we're like, that dog's probably dead now.
Oh, dear. Oh, that makes me sad.
It's bad, right? Sorry, I just wanted to put that in there while I was on the same vibe. Can I request that if you ever do a horror movie that I could watch, that I can be on?
Yeah, of
like,
course.
A lower level, the lowest level horror that you can go for.
Well, we have a whole list, so let me check the list.
Like, you know, there's some horror that's more like gory than horror. Do you know what I mean?
We're watching Trick or Treat around Halloween, and Trick or Treat's not scary.
Oh, okay, yeah. I just don't like the jump scares. I'm fine with the gore mostly. Not Blade 2. Blade 2 really got me. I had to stop watching Blade 2.
I'll send you a screenshot of the list.
Great. I'll pick what movie I want to be on.
You can pick what you want. So we're doing every second week and we're starting next week. So naturally we're starting with Leprechaun.
I didn't even know there was a movie. I'm not gonna lie.
Kate, there's 4 of them.
What?
And it stars Warwick Davis and Jennifer Aniston.
Oh, I hate Warwick Davis.
I know. You have said.
I don't like his vibe.
I'm very intrigued to see this. Lisa, friend of the podcast, asked me to send her the list and has already started watching all the movies in preparation, which I love. And she watched Leprechaun the other day and she sent me a voice note and she was like, this is the most outrageous thing I have ever seen. You're either going to love this or hate it and nothing in between. And I was like, okay.
Well,
I'm on board.
Yeah. So now, a delightful extension from Mickey Waffles. You have a Christmas all year round podcast and a horror all year round podcast. Because...
How terrifically on brand.
Yeah, pretty much. So, whatever you're feeling, there's something there for you.
There you go. There you go. Oh, Lord.
Go on.
I was just going to say, the only other exciting thing that happened to me this week was I got broadband.
Oh, yeah. Miss Sinead here was like, they have to drill into my walls to put broadband into my house. And I was like, where do you think it comes from?
It was more so my poor mother that was recovering from surgery was like sat in bed and all she could hear was someone drilling into her house. And she was upstairs. She couldn't see what was going on. So I was just like, oh no, she fucking hates me.
But isn't your internet much more reliable now?
Well, I mean, considering I've been using my phone as a hotspot for about 5 years, yes, it is.
That just gives me anxiety. I just can't even, like...
To be fair, it hasn't been an issue, But it's only now the fact that I'm working from home 24/7. Well, I'm not working 24/7, but I'm constantly working from home and having to power everything from my phone. It got to the stage where every single piece of tech I owned had to be updated. My TV needed updating, my work laptop, my work phone, my personal laptop, my own phone, everything I owned had to be updated. And I was like, my phone can't handle this. I was trying to update my work phone because I work for a bank and everything's very secure. And I was supposed to have had it updated by the 18th of February before I would lose access to everything on my phone. And I couldn't update it until last Tuesday. So I was like, oh, look at me having emails on my phone. What a novel idea. Ridiculous.
I was going to say the only other thing that's kind of interesting to talk about before we talk about the news is that we had the series finale of WandaVision.
Yes.
WandaVision. Now, I have to say, I'm gonna be brutally honest, and I may offend some people, but I thought the final episode was wildly underwhelming. I expected so much more.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, I'm kind of a little bit on the fence about it. I'm more in the positive realm than in the negative realm, but I'm not very far in the positive realm. Because for a show that like started out and was so wildly different to anything Disney have put out on Disney Plus, to anything Marvel have put out, like it was so unique and different, it still ended up with two supernatural people shooting colours at each other.
Yeah, and I think anyone who did find the episode a bit disappointing, that was one of the big things with it.
Yeah.
Was that it went just immediately went to default colors in the sky, pew 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 pew. Yeah. But I have heard rumors and possible things said recently, and it makes sense, but also it's not properly been confirmed, but apparently Doctor Strange was supposed to be in the last episode.
Okay.
But because of COVID, they didn't actually have the final episode properly done by the time COVID came round. And so because of COVID, they couldn't do the ending that they wanted to do.
Okay.
And so they had to do this instead. Honestly, it makes sense because I was talking to Ed about it, and then the guys in the Weekly Planet were talking about it as well. And when it boils down to it, Wanda came in and did this very awful thing. Now, whether she realized she did it or not, it's irrelevant. She came in, did this awful thing, and basically mentally scarred this entire town of people.
Yeah.
And then they let her just walk away. There was no repercussions. There was no calling the other Avengers and being like, hey, could someone maybe go find Wanda and maybe bring her in so we can make sure she's okay and not going to go basically Thanos on us all and kill everybody. Yeah. There was none of that. And what would have made a lot more sense is if Doctor Strange had come in and been like, okay, Wanda's now realised she has this very special power and she needs to be taught how to use it properly. Therefore, I will take Wanda and we will see you in my movie. Goodbye.
Makes complete sense.
Which would have made a lot more sense, and honestly I think was the kind of thing I was expecting. And not just okay, bye. Yeah. Which I was like, oh, okay, see you in Doctor Strange, bye.
Yeah.
Which is the only really interesting thing was the setup for Monica Rambeau and seeing where her storyline could go, and maybe then possibly being like, mutants, maybe, please.
Again, her storyline felt very rushed.
Yeah, again, it was very much like, okay, boom. Like, she only had 2 lines in the final episode. And there was Darcy had one line. Wu had 1 line. All the other characters that they'd really built up and given great storylines to and had really, really built their characters more than any of the other movies they've been in has. And then they just okay, they're gone now, bye, hope you enjoyed.
I did see there was a guy online that was getting all up in arms. He was like, why would they have Evan Peters come in as Quicksilver? He's not actually Quicksilver, and like giving out about it. And I was like, because it's funny.
Oh,
Like,
that actually,
because it's funny.
Like, I was so sad. I was so sad. I was like, you motherfuckers. I was like, how dare you do that?
But it's so funny though. Like, they're just trolling the fans. I adore it.
But there is the other thing that it's like, we still, like, this was said so long ago that Ed didn't even remember that it was said. And I had to remind him that episodes back, when Wu first came to Westfield, he was looking to help someone that was in the witness protection program, to the point where no one else knew him. And he says he's a him. And I'm like, Quicksilver. It's him.
Interesting.
Has to be him, because he doesn't even know his own name. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and that's what I'm holding out hope for, because but everyone's right. They're like, it's great. Like, okay, everyone's like accepted that so far it's not the real Quicksilver and it's not a multiverse and blah, 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 blah. But it would be a real waste to not continue Evan Peters' Quicksilver within the MCU, because he is such a great character and he is really loved by lots of fans, and he's just great. He's one of the best things that was in the new X-Men movies. So it would be a big waste to just let him go and just use him for that quick joke.
Yeah.
But if that is what it is, then I suppose we'll just have to deal with it. Whatever, it's fine.
Yeah. What I will say is, Agatha was giving me like ultimate Calabar from Halloween Town vibes.
Up in the air with the big cloak and everything.
And the big hair. I was living for it. I was like, she is just living her best Calabar life, and I'm so here for it. And Scarlet Witch's costume was just...
yeah.
It is so bomb.
It's very good. It's very exciting. They've released a Funko Pop with her in her new costume, where she's like levitating in the air reading the book. And I'm like, I don't need it. I don't need it.
You already own a Wanda. You don't need a Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, I know. I have the black and white ones. So the black and white ones are cute. They're fine. I don't need the other one.
I had been tempted to get the Halloween ones.
Oh yeah.
And then I was still kind of contemplating it, and then just before we started recording, I have to post stuff up to the lovely Sandy, and I'm rehoming a lot of my Marvel Funko Pops to her boyfriend Bing, and I was putting them in the box, and I was like, this is why I don't need them.
Yeah.
As I'm like slotting them all in the box, I was like, this is why I don't need those.
Fair. That's fair.
So, yeah.
So yeah, we've done our classic 22 minutes of rambling about absolute shite.
Has it actually been 22 minutes? Oh, wait, 23.
23. So unless you have anything else to add, we should probably get on with the news. Breaking news. Actually, the breaking news is actually a bit later on, but we're always going to do a DLP first. Breaking news. It's rumored that DLP is not going to open on April 2nd, which... No. This is from dlpdream.com. As you know, we don't get information directly from anybody, so we just steal others. While many discussions were... obviously. Oh yeah, we never just steal. We always say where we get it from. We're just very clear with you guys that we just get it from other places. While many discussions were underway in recent days, it seems that Disneyland Paris will ultimately not open to the public on April 2nd as planned. There were several meetings underway with the management team concerning the reopening of Disneyland Paris. Unfortunately, our sources tell us that the decision to postpone the reopening, initially scheduled for April 2nd, has been taken. This delay is in part due to the latest government announcements, in particular concerning the reopening of restaurants, which would not be possible before at least mid-April. Also, just throwing my 2 cents in there, France seems to be dealing with the whole vaccine rollout even worse than Ireland is. So, yeah, because we're absolutely shite. So I do think that is a big disadvantage to Disneyland Paris at the moment, is that France don't really know what they're doing with vaccines. Just seem to be against the whole vaccine rollout thing to begin with. They're like, no, we don't need those. Yeah. Get them away. So yeah, I think that's kind of a big issue. Even if the new precise reopening date remains unknown for the time being, our sources inform us that the Disneyland Paris teams would consider reopening the destination to visitors between the end of May at the earliest and the end of the month of June at the latest, if conditions allow it. The objective being to be fully operational for the summer holidays, which begin in July. So,
I mean, it gives me extra time on my annual pass.
Yeah. Yeah, it gives Ed extra time on his as well. I'm kind of like, either going with you and taking your tickets. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, I've got two options here. So yeah, obviously we won't be going to Disneyland Paris until it's absolutely safe to do so, and probably not until we've got our vaccines, which at this rate will be this time next year. So yeah, that's the initial news from GLP.
So there was a shareholder meeting today, and good old Bobby Chapek, the arsehole himself, confirmed that 3 new areas coming to Walt Disney Studios Park, the expansion project in the Walt Disney Company shareholder meeting, but only provided updates on Avengers Campus construction, which is advancing well. So from what has been kind of said online is that there are still going to be 3 areas, and they're definitely doing Avengers Campus because I think that's pretty much nearly done.
Yeah, I think they already had a lot of that groundwork set. Like, there was no point in
if they didn't do Frozen, there would be a complete revolt. Plus, I also think they know that Frozen is where they're going to get that sweet dollar from. Oh, absolutely.
Especially in Disneyland Paris. I feel like it's a lot of like young kids from Europe coming into the summer holidays.
Nowhere.
Frozen.
Like, yes, they have a little Frozen bit in the Norway Pavilion, but like there is nowhere for them to be putting Frozen in Disney World or Disneyland California, and a lot of the Americans would rather come to Europe than necessarily go over to the Asian parks. So
for something special,
Frozen Arendelle fair. Go ahead. The question mark is around Galaxy's Edge and if it's still going to be Galaxy's Edge or what the heck's going to happen with that.
Considering it was never going to be a full Galaxy's Edge anyway, it was going to be like Galaxy's Edge, Galaxy's Edge? Yeah, Galaxy Edge Light or Mini or 2.0. What other ways you can say things? It would make sense if they were to scrap it. Un Galaxy Petite.
Petite Spire Outpost.
It would make sense that the Star Wars thing would be the one to go, because like even within Disneyland Paris they do have a sort of Star Warsy area anyway. It's not amazing, but it's not terrible. So yeah, I also would just love to meet Anna and Elsa. Jesus Christ, like why? Because it's not a thing in Disneyland Paris. I'm just like, I really want it to be a thing.
When we had them in?
Those 2 wagons. No, I probably didn't. I don't think I was allowed upstairs when that happened. I was during the Frozen event. I was told to be underground. Either that or I was filling. One of the two.
You to be doing.
Anything that doesn't involve conversing with other people, I wasn't allowed to do that. Except when I was forced to do it and told them I'm not very good at this, and they were like, tough shit, be good at it anyway. And I was like, there's a reason, I'm not good at it, because none of my other jobs involve me doing it. And they're like, don't care.
There's a really hilarious picture, because my brother and sister-in-law got to bring my niece to that event, and she was only a little baby, but it's really funny whenever Emily sees it, because she was those events usually took place in October, November, and she was born in the April, so she was like 6 months old. And whenever she sees that picture, she's like,
just before Christmas.
It's me? Frozen? It's me? And I'm like, yes, that is you, baby. Oh, it's very funny.
Then we've also seen new photos from inside Disney Junior Dream Factory. Woo! With a first look at the performers' costumes and Vampirina's first appearance at Disneyland Paris. The 20-minute musical in the revamped Studio D Flex Space, whatever the fuck that means, will focus on the importance of dreaming and believing in your dreams.
I really want to meet Vampirina and be best friends with her. Like, can I please just be best friends with Vampirina? I feel like
Yeah,
I should
Vampirine is bomb.
dress up as her for Halloween one year.
The
You could be Fancy Nancy.
Oh my god, yeah, I could totally be
love
Fancy
it.
Nancy with the hair. The one thing I have to say with the whole Vampirina thing is I would worry that they're only putting her in the show
probably.
and they're not actually allowing children to meet her, which I'm like, stop torturing the children because you can't set up functioning communities.
And then the last thing from DLP, or at least I think it's the last thing for DLP from DLP Report, is a February 2021 Eve bus line public filing details future Disneyland Paris projects in Belmez Triange. I don't know.
That was a fantastic. That's what I was going to say.
So this will mean a new convention center, Lakeside Hotel, Phase 2 Disney Village extension. More things than the Disney Village. What a novel idea. Cast member parking, an office building, landscaped pedestrian areas. So there's some plans up on the DLP Report Twitter page that you can go and have a go at. But I'm so here for any expansion on the Disney Village.
Yeah, anything that doesn't make it look like we're still in the 1980s. Just the final thing from DLP. They released what the scrim image for the castle is going to look like. It looks like the castle, but the exciting thing is you're still going to be able to walk through the castle. You're not going to have to walk around the side or walk through the other lands to get to Fantasyland. You're still going to be able to just walk straight through the castle,
good. You'll
which is
also be
quite
able to
exciting.
go into, I assume, the Christmas shop, and I wonder if you're still going to be able to go upstairs and probably not. You won't be able to go up around the glass.
I would imagine not, purely for safety. Like, I wouldn't say there's anything up there, but I would just say they're cutting their losses. No, what's the word? Covering their bases. By just not allowing you up there at all, because I doubt they'll be working on it during the day when there's guests there, especially if you're able to walk underneath it. I also see that as a very big dropping things on people's heads hazard. So I doubt there'll be workers there during the day, but I imagine they don't want you anywhere, possibly, maybe, even a chance of you being able to touch scaffold.
That's fair. That makes sense.
Do you know what I mean? But hopefully it shouldn't look too bad. And all those people that are complaining that the castle's not in when I go, and COVID's already ruined my trip. Like, Disneyland Paris is the worst.
I have to say, I kind of would like a scrim photo. Like you know when people want the crane photos in Disney World? Like, I kind of want a scrim photo.
I'm like, I just want photos of me with like the crane and scrim and scaffolding. Like, I'm like, give me all of it.
We're aware that we are niche and strange human beings, but that's fine. Yeah. Moving over stateside, but still saying kind of in the DLP realm. It was announced today that Remy's Ratatouille adventure in EPCOT is going to be opening on October 1st, 2021, in line with Walt Disney World's 50th anniversary. Now, why on earth this is staying closed and sat there until October 1st, I don't really understand, because from what we've seen and how long they've been bloody working on this, and given the fact that it's not a brand new ride, they're just replicating it. I don't know why they need an additional 6 months, but they do. So they announced it on Disney Parks blog. Everyone's favorite little chef is cooking up something really big for the Walt Disney World Resort's 50th anniversary, because the grand opening of Remy's Ratatouille adventure at EPCOT is set for October 1st this year. And then they're trying to be cutesy and being like, oh, doesn't this date sound familiar? And it's like, yeah. So in this delicious new attraction, I mean, it's new to Florida, sure, but you'll feel like you've shrunk down to the size of Chef Remy as you scurry through Gusteau's famous restaurant on a wild adventure for the whole family, no height requirement, based on Disney and Pixar's Academy Award-winning Ratatouille. The experience will be part of the newly expanded Friends Pavilion inside Epcot that will also open on October 1st. So there's also going to be a new crepe place, which will be exciting.
Also, Yeah, which I just read is going to feature sweet crepes, savoury buckwheat galettes, which are naturally gluten-free, and authentic French hard cider. I wonder if it's the
I
cider
hope
that
so.
they serve in DLP. And this makes me even more annoyed that Walt Disney World get it every fucking day of the year, and Disneyland Paris, where the fucking movie is set, well, not Disneyland,
Yeah.
just Paris, only gets it for like 2 months a year during their like
Okay.
one special-ish event. I'm like, why is Disneyland Paris the poor fucking runt of the litter? Like,
But
why
just
is it
think,
treated so badly?
whenever we can go over to Florida, we can just go and it'll be like that ridiculously boiling hot, warm Florida sun, and we can just get a nice cold pint of cider. Because in DLP, you get like a shot of it. So
Oh yeah, it's not
I assume
enough.
you'll be able to get like a decent size.
Garçon, keep them
Basically.
coming. Leave the bottle. Yes, that is $50. I know.
What
Don't worry about it.
I will say is, if you are somebody that will be in Florida for the 50th, don't spend all your time queuing for Ratatouille. It's very cute.
It's not. It's a
Thoroughly
nice
enjoy it.
ride. It's fun. It's a bit different,
Don't waste all your
but
time.
like it's not
No.
life changing.
I'm unsure.
No, I
Are
don't know.
people? Oh, people are wearing glasses in it, because I wasn't sure. Because I know in DLP occasionally they've removed the 3D element of it, and I wasn't sure if they were going to release it as 3D or not, given the COVID. But by the looks of it, everyone's wearing glasses.
There's no COVID in Florida. What are you talking about? Then, first look, step inside a reimagined room from Disney's Polynesian Village Resort at Walt Disney World. They're actually pretty cute. Who writes
Well, this
these
one
blogs?
was Jeremy
Can you
Screwfield.
feel the Pacific breeze blowing? That's because we just stepped into Disney's Polynesian Village Resort here at Walt Disney World. Have a look at these new photos we're sharing for the first time, taking you inside a newly reimagined guest room at the resort. To be honest, they're fucking huge.
So freaking nice.
And they are very much Moana inspired. These reimagined spaces feature a new colour palette inspired by the Pacific Ocean and its many islands, including details, patterns, and textures from the hit Walt Disney Animation Studios film, Moana. Look closely and you might even spot some characters from the story.
I have to say, like, I think I've said before, like, the Polynesian would be, and kind of has always been, like, a bucket list resort for me. But I am so vibing with the Maui wallpaper, with just everything in this room. I think they look bloody stunning. But a lot of people hate them.
Yeah, okay. So Christopher said, really wish the sleeping area had carpeting, but very beautiful. Okay, don't know why you exactly need carpeting. I think it's a bit more sanitary to not have carpeting, but okay. Then Melissa said, okay, but honestly, I like the old room better. The tiki room and laid back feel, and the ukulele music with the cozy little pull down bed in the wall for the wee ones, and the lava rock tile in the bathroom. The old rooms look more like Hawaii than Hawaii today before Ala Moana Boulevard went all corpo. What? When they had the international marketplace in a warm field, this looked sleek but cold. Please leave some the same and get the old Hawaii feel. The orange and teal is nice, just needs a little freshen up. This is meh.
Fun.
I've stayed there many times. Love the upgrade. I'm so glad that as a Walt Disney World upgrades all of its resorts, that all of the carpeting and those nasty comforters are being removed, especially in this age of COVID. Yes, David. I started on our last trip this past Christmas week to leave my sneakers at the door upon entering the room. Oh, I then wore my flip-flops or shower shoes in the room until we are ready to leave again, because you don't want to touch the carpets. That's fair. And then Margaret said, I really like the old rooms better. Not everything has to be based on a movie. Well, it's not really it's very subtle. It's very subtle. It's not like you've walked in and they've screamed Moana at you. There's Maui's tattoos is like a mural of that on mural of that on the wall, and that's literally the only mention to Moana. The rest of it is very modern, sleek, clean, fresh.
I think it looks great. I think they look beautiful. But
People, this is just like a common issue
people don't
of
like change.
old people not wanting to change anything ever.
Ain't that the truth?
And they're like, no, leave the vermin in the carpet. I liked it better that way.
Oh dear. And then I think the last thing from Disney World, anyways, is that there are 10 million things being released for Paddy's Day, because it's Paddy's Week coming up.
Woo!
I'm just going to put a little educational piece here at the start, right? It is St. Patrick's Day, or it's Paddy's Day with D's. It is never
DDY.
St. Paddy's Day. No. And it's absolutely never St. Patty's Day with T's.
Who the fuck is Patty? That is what you get in the burger.
We use D's. Also, a shamrock has 3 leaves, not 4. That is a 4-leaf clover.
That's a 4-leaf
So
clover.
just a little educational piece at the start. But anyways, so there are 10 million things coming to the Walt Disney World Resort. And honestly,
I love them all.
like, the first thing that you come across in this particular article from WDW Info is from Amaret's Patisserie, and it's a shamrock cream puff with Irish cream mousse and whiskey caramel sauce. And it has like a little crock of gold, and it has a little rainbow licorice belt on it. And honestly, this thing looks bloody beautiful, and I want 12.
Yeah, then they have a matcha orange creme brulee, which, I mean, okay, whatever. Then Irish whiskey chocolate squares, dark chocolate ganache infused with Irish whiskey. Yes.
Give me, please.
They also have a milk chocolate version. Then this is my favorite thing: a leprechaun Mickey pinata. Chocolate pinata filled with gold dusted chocolate marshmallows.
I can't.
Could you ever stop?
And then a deluxe burger, you
yeah.
can get the Dubliner Burger, which is a beef burger, Dubliner cheddar, corned beef, shoestring fried onions, Irish stout, barbecue sauce, lettuce, and grilled onions. Now, if I could get like a vegetarian version of that, I would happily have that.
The other bits sound good, right? Like the non-veg, like the non-meat stuff. Like,
and I have to say, I would be down for the Irish cream milkshake, which is vanilla gelato with Irish cream, caramel sauce, toasted marshmallow, and green sprinkles.
But then we move down. I agree, and this is where things start to annoy me. A corned beef Reuben, get in the sea. Like, I've never heard anything less Irish. Shaved corned beef, champagne kraut, whiskey mustard, Irish stout onions, Gruyere, and marble rye. Like, literally fuck off. Like, no. Ham and cheese sandwich on white bread, thank you. Like, that would have been a better, like, here's your traditional Irish lunch.
Very true. Or a tail sandwich.
Or a chicken fillet roll.
Oh, yeah, true. Oh.
If I was there, I'd be like, look, if you want to really respect the Irish, do all your other things, no problem. But do like a finesse chicken fillet roll. No one else will get it, but the Irish will be happy.
Yeah. A couple of the things that have stuck out to me.
Ooh, look at that. That's so green.
I know. There's from the Tamu refreshments from a bunch of different coffee places. That you can get an Irish coffee with Irish whiskey, Joffrey's coffee, whipped cream, and Shamrock sprinkles. And honestly, it kind of looks like a pint of Guinness, but it looks delightful.
Look at that. That's so cute. I want one.
Right?
St. Patrick's Day ice cream sandwich. Mint ice cream between double chocolate chip cookies rolled in Shamrock sprinkles. Yes.
Like, there is...
Oh, that's cute too.
There's
these
so
things
many
are so
things.
dainty. Have you seen the little Irish Chippendale?
Yeah, they're very cute.
Oh.
There's also, what was the other thing that I saw? There's what I can only kind of describe as they're like a beignet equivalent of a Shamrock shake, which are mint chocolate chip glazed beignets. A sweet blend of chocolate chips and fresh mint with a touch of the Irish green sprinkles. They look delicious.
What is this corned beef thing? Irish nachos, French fries, topped
corned beef and cabbage
chocolate
is very
corned
Irish.
Beef, Guinness beer cheese, pico de gallo, spicy aioli. Is corned beef an Irish thing?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever eaten corned beef.
What?
Yeah.
Corned beef and cabbage is like one of the like most Irish things, other than like a stew.
Nah.
My nanny used
Never
to
had that.
always make corned beef.
Like, it sounds like something I'd eat. I've just never had it.
And you'd boil the cabbage in with the corned beef.
And so the cabbage wouldn't taste like crap.
Oh, but the cabbage would be like a fraction away from like just sheer mush. Like, my nanny's cabbage was outrageous. But
So basically, everything there looks absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I have to say, other than the few dodgy 4-leaf clovers instead of shamrocks, I'm also quite happy with
Yeah.
most of it. There's also a from Gasper Le Grill at the Grand Floridian. There's the Look of the Irish coffee panna cotta, which is a chocolate coffee mousse, Irish cream whiskey panna cotta, and a vanilla cream topped with a shamrock cookie. And honestly, it looks beautiful. Although it's not a shamrock cookie, it's a feckin' 4-leaf clover.
But anyway, we digress.
But either way,
And then moving western.
oh, there you
The
go.
west to the west coast. It was released this past week that theme parks in California could open as of April 4th. Was that the date? I feel like I've made that
I'm
up.
not sure.
I think it's early April. Basically, their government people, whoever from the state, have said that theme parks can open and function from this date. And everyone jumped on the bandwagon and they were like, oh my god, Disneyland California is going to open on April 4th. Woo! And then Disney came out with a statement that were like, we are encouraged that theme parks now have a path towards reopening this spring, getting thousands of people back to work and greatly helping neighbouring businesses and our entire community. With responsible Disney safety protocols already implemented around the world, we can't wait to welcome our guests back and look forward to sharing an opening date soon. So Disneyland came back and were like, we hear you,
Calm down.
but also calm the fuck down. And then DLP Report just put out, it's rumoured that Disneyland Resort in California is set to reopen late April. So they obviously weren't ready to jump the gun as quick as the government told them they could go. I imagine they actually need to tell people to come back to work first and make sure that they can still do their jobs. And I would say, I would be pretty confident saying they'll probably open late April, early May.
Yeah, I would say so.
I don't think they'll put it off any longer than they need to, but they will wait until they're happy to open.
And when they reopen, I think whenever they reopen, their Avengers campus is going to reopen as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think that's
So
done.
that'll be exciting. So we'll get to see what it'll be like for DLP. And then moving oceanside.
Onto the waters. Away.
Disney Cruise Line is expected to resume sailing from this fall. So in the shareholder call, good old Bobby Chapek said that the company expects Disney Cruise Line to resume sailing with guests from fall 2021. No additional information was announced regarding what protocols will need to be followed, such as mask wearing or proof of COVID vaccinations. Jesus Christ, I can't speak today. Vaccinations. I did see online, and I couldn't find a concrete thing, but seemingly there are 4 lawsuits floating about people getting COVID on the Disney Dream, I want to say, but I couldn't find anything concrete about it. So I was like, I'm a
just leave that there.
Yeah.
I think this is wildly irresponsible, and I don't think they should be doing this until it is literally bang on safe to do it within the entire world.
Oh, I don't think you're going to be able to get on a cruise if you don't have a vaccine. I don't think that's going to be a thing. Whatever about getting on a plane, you ain't getting on a cruise.
Do you know what I mean? I'm just like, this seems too complicated and too risky that, even if you have the vaccine, it's technically the vaccine isn't, no vaccine is ever 100% anything. Not just the COVID vaccine. Any vaccine isn't 100% anything. And I'm like, if one person on that ship has it, at least half the ship has it within a day. Yeah. The reproductive rate in a ship is outrageous, and I'm just like, this just seems wildly irresponsible. You should just let it lie. I know it sucks for the people who work on the ships, and it sucks for Disney, and whatever, but holy mother of God, of all the things, the way it's gonna look, it's gonna be that there's gonna be ships running and Disneyland Paris won't be open. Do you know what I mean?
Madness. Oh, sure.
Guys, madness. Seriously?
Yeah.
But anyway, that is all of the Disney news for this week. Isn't it mad that every week we're like, there's no news, and then somehow there's news?
I know. Not
Where
necessarily
does it come from?
Not necessarily Disney related, but I feel the need to mention it. They've announced the dates for Halloween Horror Nights for Universal, and the fact that the Beetlejuice house is coming back, and I'm really sad because I won't get to see the Beetlejuice house.
Oh yeah.
Wait.
Oh well.
But either way, 1 year. 1 year I'll go, and I'll have the ever-living shite scared out of me, and it'll be grand.
And I will not be there. Well, I might go with you. I just won't go with you to the event.
That's fair.
I might go with you just to go to Disney World and to go to Universal.
Just to the general Florida area.
But I'll just make sure there's a party Mickey's Not So Scary going on that night, and I'll just go to Mickey's Not So Scary an extra time. And I'll be like,
you can't go to Mickey's Not So Scary without me.
No, an extra time. Like, we'll go, and then you'll go to Horror Nights, and I'll just go trick-or-treating again by myself.
Fair.
Do you know what I mean? Not go without you. Jesus Christ, couldn't do that. We'll go, have our fun, then you can go get scared, and I'll go get sweets.
Fair. If this doesn't sum up me and Kate's friendship, I don't know what does. But
and I'll just bop along to the parade by myself eating popcorn.
So I think that's everything for news.
Yeah, so do I.
So last week we kicked off our Ideal Meal series.
You're welcome. I gave loads of suggestions and Sinead hated all of them, and we finally landed on Ideal Meal.
I enjoyed it. It's just the ones that were, I mean, imagination digestion was fine, but it was a bit much.
What was the other one? Imagination something. I had a good imagination one that was a bit out there, but apparently no. Ideal Meal.
It's a little bit more snappy. I enjoy it. So, if you haven't listened to last week's episode, we did Disneyland Paris, and this week we are starting with Walt Disney World with the OG park, Magic Kingdom. So, I went first last week, so do you want to go first this week?
Sure. It's a bit chaotic.
Oh, that's fine.
But also, I did get very much like Netflix syndrome, where I felt a tad overwhelmed and couldn't pick anything. And was like, well, none of this sounds good.
There's a lot to choose from.
So, I'll start with my starter. My starter's from Cinderella's Royal Table.
Hold up. Where were you eating this?
Oh, I had that at the end.
Oh.
But I should probably have put it at the start. So my venue is very specific. Oh. It's Cinderella's Royal Table during the fireworks, but only after I've experienced the fireworks from a prime position in front of the castle prior to eating dinner.
Okay.
So this is not my first time experiencing the fireworks from inside the castle. No. Okay. I have seen I've seen the fireworks probably at least twice by now and have fully enjoyed the experience.
Okay.
And now I'm going for dinner at Cinderella's Royal Table and being in the fireworks.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, very specific.
I'm feeling it.
I just love the idea of eating during a show. I'm always like, yeah, dinner and a meal. Dinner and a show.
I like it.
Dinner and a meal. So, my starter is from Cinderella's Royal Table.
Cool.
And it's going to sound a bit odd, but as I go down, you'll kind of realise why, for balance. Because otherwise I'd probably be sick.
Okay.
So my start is the castle salad from Cinderella's Royal Table, which is mixed greens, pumpkin seeds, golden raisins, pink lady apples, and maple balsamic vinaigrette. Because as a starter, that just sounded great.
Do I want this? That sounds delicious.
Right? I was like,
Big fan.
I was like, this is like a nice way to like start off the meal with a nice fresh palate. Like,
oh, yeah.
This seems nice. Yeah. Then for my mains, now you'll see it degrades. For my mains, I've gone for the Plaza Burger, which is honey barbecued beef brisket, cheddar, lettuce, and tomato from Plaza Restaurant.
Okay.
And also with probably some crappy American fries. Mm-hmm. And then for my sides, I have picked cheeseburger spring rolls from the egg roll wagon.
Amazing.
And also bacon macaroni and cheese french fries from Casey's.
Oh, excellent. Because
these all just seem like my vibe.
Yeah.
And then for dessert, I've gone for the dessert trio platter from Be Our Guest.
Okay.
Which is a lemon jam macaron, lemon jam macaron, dark chocolate truffle filled with dark chocolate Grand Marnier ganache. Ooh. With white chocolate chip cup.
Very cute.
With grey stuff and crisp pearls, vanilla cake with lemon curd with fresh berries and strawberry meringue.
Nice.
So, like, I'd want the grey stuff. Like, I feel like this, if we're gonna do an ideal meal in Magic Kingdom, for me personally, I'm like the grey stuff, but also all of these other things.
They all sound delightful.
I also didn't realise that is the only dessert option if you go for dinner, Be Our Guest.
Yeah.
That's the only thing you can get.
Very limited.
It's like, you can have this thing Goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
And then for my drink, I've literally put in brackets for pure novelty a pineapple Dole Whip cup.
Oh, okay.
Because I feel like I harp on about Dole Whip so much that I'm just like, I should probably have it as like my speciality drink with the meal.
Would you get a spiked one?
What am I eating for dinner? Yeah, probably. It's a pretty heavy meal.
You can get a
I could
spiked
probably
with a
go
bit
for
of
a
rub.
spiked one. And then I'd probably just drink a fuck ton of water as well.
I feel
that
like
would probably be my balance. Because, you know, we're in Florida. I'm eating a lot of food.
Yeah.
That's why I put like a novelty, the drink. For the drinks for these, I'm always just like, let's go novelty, let's go speciality. Because in reality,
I've done the
I'm
same.
probably drinking either water or some form of Coke.
Yeah, fair.
Depending on the mood, it may be diet, may not, but that's probably the only thing I'm drinking while I'm there. So while we're doing this, might as well go for like a bit of a crazy drink.
I like it. I'm on board.
So that is my ideal meal for Magic Kingdom.
Amazing. What I will say, if anybody wants to join in and tell us your ideal meal for Magic Kingdom, I'll leave a link in the show notes to a website called AllEars, where literally you can get every menu for every single restaurant, snack cart, everything you could possibly want in all of the parks. And it just makes life much easier.
It's really good because you can limit it down to what dining plan you're on as well.
Exactly.
And it'll be like, here you go. Like, it's very good. I was very
filter
impressed. I was like,
by dietary requirements, if you are celiac, if you are vegan, the type of cuisine. Very, very intuitive. We'll leave a link and then you can tell us yours.
I was like, this is interesting. I hope this is still around when I maybe possibly go to Disney World.
Right? So, for mine, I have a completely obscure venue. Like a completely unrealistic venue.
Okay.
And then I have a slightly more realistic one. So, my completely unrealistic one is I want it as room service to the Dream Suite in the castle. Like, I want to be in the castle, in the Dream Suite, in my jammies, people bringing this food to me.
That is honestly, and I say this with the utmost respect, the most unrealistic
I know, right?
option ever.
I know, right? So that's why I have two. And the other option is also Cinderella's Royal Table, probably during fireworks. Maybe, if I'm going to be real specific, maybe during those new Halloween fireworks that I can never remember the name of because it's not Hallowishes anymore. But still. So, and I would still want it to be character dining. But if it's Halloween character dining, maybe it's the villains instead of princesses.
Nice.
I can go with that. So for my starter, I'm going with Casey's Corner, and I'm going with the plant-based loaded slaw dog, purely because never in my life have I been able to get a hot dog from Casey's because the LP doesn't do vegetarian ones, and I would really like one. So this comes with a pickled slaw, barbecue aioli, and a roasted corn relish, and you can get either fries or apple slices. Honestly, given the rest of my meal, I'd probably go apple slices. Also, I just really enjoy apples.
It's true that.
So that'd be my starter. My main is from Liberty Tree Tavern, and it's the Impossible Meatloaf that comes with the most glorious looking mash, mushroom gravy, and veg. And you can also get mac and cheese, and I would want the mac and cheese.
Macaroni, mac and cheese. Yeah. I think I'm going to invest in a good mac and cheese recipe and make it at home.
Our pal Lisa has one that she sent to Sam.
Like, you know, the way you get like just where you spend a little extra on the old cheese situation, so it gets a good mac and cheese. I think I'm just gonna have to do it because I'm not getting to a restaurant anytime soon.
You should try remake the Vapiano's one.
Ooh, that is a big ask.
Well, just saying. So for my sides from Golden Oak Outpost, I have gone with cheesy waffle fries. Now, the cheesy waffle fries normally come with bacon, but it's my ideal meal, so they're giving them to me without bacon. And it's just like that gooey, plasticky cheese sauce over glorious waffle fries. Because I love a waffle fry.
Yeah. Do you know why? Because of the surface area. Because the cheese can get into all those nooks and crannies.
I think they're nice and crispy. And crispy. But I also want the garlic breadsticks with the marinara sauce from Pinocchio's Village House.
Oh, that was a great shout. That's a really good shout.
Love garlic breadsticks. Big fan.
I like bread.
Oh, also very that. Also very that. For my dessert, I'm also going with Liberty Tree Tavern, and they have a thing called an ooey gooey toffee cake. And when I looked at the pictures of it, oh sweet baby Jesus, it looked absolutely delightful, and it comes in a giant skillet. Love things that come in a skillet.
Yes, we stand a skillet.
The novelty of a skillet. And then for my drink, I have gone with, from Gaston's Tavern, the Lefous Brew, which is frozen apple juice with toasted marshmallow frothy thing on top.
That was good. That was a good choice.
And I'd want it in the stein, because
obviously
not the big fancy gold cup. Couldn't be arsed with that. I want a stein.
The stein. Yeah.
I mean, if I could get that spiked with whiskey, I happily would. But I'll have it. I'll have it straight. That's fine.
Whiskey mac and cheese. That's a thing, isn't it?
Is it?
I should do that. I'm gonna Google it. Whiskey mac and bear with the title.
I know I mentioned the whiskey Brussels sprouts from EPCOT last week. I don't know if that's where you're getting. Oh no, she's found it.
Jack Daniel's smoky mac and cheese. That must have been where I was thinking of it. Definitely a thing. Oh, maybe I'll make this. I have to buy Jack Daniel's.
At least do it, Jameson. Get a good whiskey.
We have whiskey. There you go. There we go. Who knows, ladies and gentlemen? Maybe I'll have many things to report on next week.
There you go. The sheer excitement. So yeah.
There are ideal meals for Magic Kingdom. What are we going to do next week?
It froze.
Oh, what are we doing next week?
I'm thinking we go in the order that the park's opened.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
Right?
Cool. Mm-hmm.
But also, it's because I know I'm off for the first half of next week, so I have time to research EPCOT, because I know that's going to be a beast.
Okay, that's fair. I'll use my time wisely then between now and next week.
So, yeah. So next week we'll do EPCOT. EPCOT is going to be a time. Also, I think I'm going to pick several drinks. Just putting that out there.
Yeah, we might have to. We might have to just do like a smorgasbord for the old
Should we do,
EPCOT.
rather than ideal meals, should we do drinking and snacking around the world? Like, should we just go? Because I don't think either of us were going to pick anything from Future World.
Yeah, maybe we should just do that then. Yeah, pick something from every pavilion.
Yeah.
Okay, I vibe.
I'm excited.
Good stuff. I hope you guys vibe too, because that's the decision we made, and that's it.
And then you can plan out what you would have if you were joining us for drinking around the world. What a time that would be.
Oh yeah, if you guys want to chip in, just make sure you message us before next Tuesday.
Yeah.
And so what's it today? It'll be Saturday for you guys. So just message us on Instagram before evening time Tuesday, and we'll shout you out on the pod.
Yeah.
Or even like some faves, or what you'd like to try. Anything. Just speak to us.
Just talk to us. We're very lonely. It's during
We're so lonely. The dogs don't talk back. Well, I mean, Ari does, but I don't know what she's saying.
She's just saying, oh, woo woo.
And normally it's let me outside and feed me food, you bitch.
Yeah.
Which is what I get most of the time. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this week, guys. Again, if you want to hit us up on Instagram, it's at Mickey Waffles Pod, or if you want to contact Sinead on Twitter, it's at Mickey Waffle Pod, because I don't do Twitter because it scares me.
I love it.
There are 2 handles for those.
And if you're listening on an Apple device, please do give us a rating or a review. It means an awful lot to us. And tell your friends. Tell everybody.
Yeah, and just a second reminder that I have Christmas Workers Pod, and Sinead's about to have Cheaper Than a Chainsaw, so get ready for that to be shoved into the end of every single episode from here on in, that we also do other things. Woo-woo-woo. So yeah, thanks so much for listening, guys, and we'll see you next week. Bye!
This podcast is part of the After Dark Podcast Network.